Hey everybody, Dave Ryan, December 1773. Yeah, it's my day. I'm not doing whatever. I'm not doing the Dave intro. Yeah, Rides Record. This is my thing. YouTube, Facebook, Rumble. Fucking catch us every day.
I'll do the
Friday,
part of the
7
intro.
Eastern. Yeah, Rumble. Rumble video. It's a boxing glove. That's why I punched the camera. Globalist. Yeah, today's my day. Dave says this is his favorite because he doesn't do anything.
How dare you? How dare you?
Hey, that's what you said, not me, brother.
Yeah, I did say that.
All right, so I got a couple things here. First, let's get to let's cut the fluff here. Okay, I've been teasing you guys all week about the Rumble drama that I heard this week, and it was from a friend and viewer of the show. Dave knows. I won't say his name on camera because they're listening.
Because the global elites are listening.
But he told me to check out this dudes on Rumble and the Patriot Party News. Okay, on Rumble in particular, they're not allowed on YouTube, and they have actually had a few of their videos removed from Rumble for violating terms of use, allegedly.
Now, to be clear, just before we go too far, Rumble does have terms of use. The question always is, in my opinion, are the terms of use applied to everyone the same? Are the terms of use dictated by global elites and world governments?
Yeah, I don't know about those in particular, what videos were censored. This is what I heard, okay? I just heard it on Saturday. We were recording on Sunday. So this is literally like, I have not even investigated the slightest bit into this person's channel. I spent a little bit listening to it today, but I focused on other stuff because I wanted to give like a good, it's real. This is actually what I told our friend, and it was like, I don't really tend to listen to other political commentators because it's kind of our space. I like, they're not. Everybody's a competition to us, basically. Even though I don't view them as competition, we all got our own little lane and our own little flavor, which is fine.
I do like what you said last week, which was,
what?
Don't come to me for information. This is where you go to question information.
Yes.
That was a pretty strong line.
Yeah, well, it's true. I'm not claiming this is actually a knock on that. We had a guy that was blowing up our comms this week talking shit to me, which I always encourage, but at the end of the day, I just don't put energy into it. I don't let these people change my mind. I told a guy good luck to you and spread the word about the podcast. But he called me a tyrant and stuff. But I'm not getting up here and saying that what I'm saying is
clearly he clearly he doesn't watch very much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting up here claiming this is once again, global elites. This is comedy and joke. This is our, and forget what else the guy said or something. Oh, he said that I was a pseudo-intellectual. I have never once claimed to be an intellectual. We have intellectual level conversations, though.
No, in fact, several times do you normally start off a statement with, I'm not a doctor, or I'm not a scientist, but... In fact, you're the opposite of a pseudo-intellectual. You're a pseudo-intellectual.
Yeah, it's
you pretend to be dumber than you are.
Yeah, I know nothing. That's how I've learned everything. Is just be like, I don't know shit. Show me. It don't matter if I go to a doctor's office or whatever. I just ask a bunch of questions because I'm curious. I'm naturally curious, right? So then, the guy, the pseudo-intellectual and all this. It's Dave and I are just average guys. That's what's so funny to me about people hating on the show. It's like this is literally layman's perspective. I've never claimed to be an expert, but I still don't listen to other people in the space. The people that I do go to are people that are the same level of quality that you would get or what you would expect with a mainstream. Patrick Bet-David, Rogan, Daily Wire was on there. But
why? What happened?
Well, David. And I mean, not to discredit Daily Wire, because I'm sure they're still putting out fantastic content and everything else in their affiliates. Jordan Peterson, they're probably, just because you're corrupt doesn't mean that you're not 85% is definitely better than 100% corruption.
To be clear, just because we did trash some of the people at Daily Wire doesn't mean everybody at Daily Wire is a piece of shit.
Yeah. Well, if it's just business, which it is, fine, but don't say you're for liberty. That's all it is.
I
Don't
think the
scapegoat
CEO is
Liberty.
fair game because he's the one who laid out the contract, right? I'll leave Jordan Peterson off the list. I think he is what he is. I don't think he has any interest in. I don't think he even cares about making money or doing any of these things. I think he just wants to go put his word out. So I don't think Jordan Peterson was involved. Obviously, he's not. They didn't come to him to ask him about contract information for Steven Crowder. I think Ben Shapiro as a co-CEO is somewhat responsible too. He probably knows more than the average person there.
There's no way. That guy is super intellectual. There's no.
Yeah, he's not just some. Oh, I didn't know this was happening. And then the Candace Owens has always pissed me off a little bit to some degree.
She's a black female. That's why she's on Daily Wire.
For one,
sorry. That's why she's on there.
A while back, for example, the one thing that really bothered me a while back, and this was when I knew Candace Owens right out of the gate was not as true to her word as she thinks she is. But she was campaigning against people like Thomas Massey. It's like, how do you campaign against Thomas Massey? He's like easily one of the most freedom-loving people in all of government, maybe of all time. So if you're in the freedom movement, how can you look at a guy like Thomas Massey and be like, I'm going to campaign with the guy running against him? So that bothered me. And then she came out and she was like, well, that looks like my contract, and kind of outed the Daily Wire. And, that bothers me too, because it's like, how many people signed these contracts that didn't think like, oh, this is kind of fucked up?
Yeah. Yeah. To bring this full circle, why I originally brought this up. Yeah, I don't tend to listen to other people in the spaces because I'm trying to not be influenced by all these people. So when the viewer and friend gave me the information about the Patriot Party News Network, he said it is a deep rabbit hole conspiracy style information. I'm expecting, I don't know what, I actually don't even know what to expect anymore when we already have, the conspiracies that I think I know about. But he basically told me that my view of the world is wrong. And, he made it sound like it's worse than I actually think it is. So I'm not, whatever, global elites. This is just like all fun and stuff. And I obviously am not going to take everything this guy says with scrutiny. I'm going to be sure. And, but it's just interesting, right? It's, this space provides a lot of room for a lot of different ideas, which is cool. But I think everybody should check this guy out and see what's out there. I will be on in the future to reference this news. I just wanted to portray all the information that I was received from my friend because, he told me some other stuff. It's a little more personal. I talked with Dave before the podcast about it, but honestly, this is why I do what we do. When I have conversations of that level with a man at a bar, like I always tell you guys, you got to talk politics, religion, and stuff in public. And we're and people at the bar share our values and don't, and then they hear a conversation, and like that's why you do that, because they censor me on the internet. They censor Dave on the internet. So I have to go to a bar. I have to go to Target. I have to go to church. I don't go to church, but you have to go to these places and talk about this stuff. You have to go to family events and talk about it because like they will censor your text messages soon.
Yeah, I've been trying to make an active effort to be more kind of like you. Going into your local grocery store and be like, hey, did you hear about this? And the people kind of look at you funny a little bit because it's like, why are you talking to me? You don't know me. It's like, well, I don't know. Fuck.
Yeah, and you kind of get
something
over
important
it,
that you don't get to hear.
Yeah, and sometimes I pick up those magazines in the aisle and flip through those, right? And like in their face, not like that they should care about what I'm doing, but like maybe just the image, right, of like something on the cover will trip a memory for them. And then like we all have to do our part to just start each other going. Like we're all social creatures. To think like we don't learn from each other is insane. Your peers, Jordan Peterson talks about this. After like the age of 4, your peers raise you more than your parents do, because your peers prepare you for the world better than your parents can. So it's always been like this for all of human history. So it's like to think that we're not going to be out here learning if we're all just like, nope, you can't talk about it. It's arbitrary. And then we wonder why we have low information voting and all these other things. So, it's cool. It's interesting. But this is, once again, I had a conversation. I felt amazing. He's a very bright man as well. And just to have like that connection, you don't like I'm counting my blessing. I know it's a rare thing to meet people like this. And I happen to meet a lot of people sometimes because I am so outspoken about it. So I guess the moral of the story is like, victory looks many different things to many different people, and that was a victory to me to have the conversation, which I always told him. And he told me that he was the soldier and I'm the poet, basically. And he said, my words will move the soldiers. So, and then I got a couple things of this entertainment. And all right, I seen a news article that talked about how the IRS is going to start cracking down on sports betting. I'm not one to sports bet and stuff, but I'm wondering how many kids at home like that live with their parents that like sports have been betting and winning all this money, and then the IRS is going to come and just wreck them, with owing thousands of dollars or something because they're not educated or didn't really think about it, or they thought it didn't matter.
But these are kind of the things that, like, when you talk about going into places and talking with people, these are the kind of things you warm people up with, right? So the more stories like this you have, the more stories where the government's cracking down on people sports gambling, or the government's cracking down on people investing in crypto, or the government's cracking down on anything that's kind of cultural, is kind of good for us, because you can relate that to people a lot better than you can relate global elites to the average person, because they're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you even talking about?
Yeah,
but you can go up to the
that's
average person and say, yeah, but you can go up to the average person and say, man, can you believe the government's going to start taxing sports gambling? Of course, they got to get their cut, right? But any little seed you can plant in somebody that the government is constantly coming for you, they're not going to let you be successful. You need to plant that seed.
Yeah, and we're really seeing with the Crowder thing and everything, all that highlighted was you just got to play ball with these people. The only way that you're going to allow to, which is what it was always thought of, But yeah, the IRS cracking down. I feel sorry for some of these kids. Now, granted, you got to know this shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's the $600 rule. You know what I mean? Like, if you make more than $600, sometimes it's even under, but relatively, if you have like a full 9-to-5 job and the $600 thing, your regular 9-to-5 could cover the tax, probably the difference. It's what I've always kind of heard.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't gamble. I don't promote gambling. I have family that has trouble with gambling, and I've just never picked it up. I've done various styles of it, but as far as like a regular routine thing, I actually think sports gambling might be worse than the lottery and casinos, because one, it's on apps, and two, it's sports. There's like Dave, you're in the sports culture. It's like layers of addiction. You get addicted to the people, the drama, the trades, the fucking teams, the colors, the smells, their events. You can go there and gamble and fantasy, and it's just adding so many layers to the thing that's already unhealthy. And to tie it even, the most unhealthy thing is just following sports in general and not caring about politics. It's fine if you do both, but you can't do just one. So it's just the little end cap. And then not to mention they're greedy bastards, and they see millions and millions of dollars just there for government spending. It's interesting. Has anybody seen the Dave? Maybe you could bring up a picture of this. The statue on the courthouse to honor Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Have you seen this?
Courthouse statue. See if I can pull it up. Okay.
No, that's not it.
That's not it?
No.
What is it supposed to look like?
It's a golden statue that has like horns. Like, it looks like the fucking devil, like a female.
Excuse
devil.
me?
I swear to God, dude.
Come on. Are you sure? Honors. But
golden look up NYC courthouse Ginsburg resistance statue. Because after this, we're just typing in fucking devil. I'm trying to not go that route so we can like find it legitly. Yeah, this is all right. Maybe I got trolled by the internet. Right
You get
there.
trolled.
No, go up a little.
This one?
No, up. Right there in the middle. That row where you are, over 2 more. That there.
What the fuck is this? Is this real? Dude, are you sure?
The Blaze shared this. This is where I've actually seen it. I've seen a couple. It's all independent stuff, but yeah, maybe they trolled me.
What is this? Newswars.com.
Yeah, maybe that's Alex's stuff. Yeah, maybe they trolled me.
Infowars. What is there?
But that's what I've seen.
Floor.
But it doesn't.
Sure it's probably a real.
Well,
I mean, it's.
Well, that's the problem. Like they have the Pope statue. I know. I don't know if I came on here and had you pull up the picture of the one with Jesus, like behind these very crazy, like demonic symbols.
Christian Post, Catholic Register. What would make people comfortable? Blaze, Breitbart.
Yeah, maybe that's the actual statue, and they just fucking
MSN, dude. Okay? So do people feel good about MSN? I just want to find something that people aren't gonna.
So this is legit. Yeah, look at that thing.
Does everyone agree with this source?
Look at that. That's the devil. Look at it.
It does have a little.
Dave, look up Diablo 4, the video game cover art. I swear to God, look up Diablo 4, the cover art, in a separate fucking screen.
Diablo 4 cover art. Yeah, that's
Yeah, the girl. Look at that. Now I know these are different things, but it's all.
It's got even a little.
Those images are sacred, like the goat horns, right? Has always been associated with devil. All the tentacles, right? Like a hydra. It's like Medusa, like a devil Medusa, and that's to honor because people, for people's resistance and against to be pro-abortion. This is what they're doing to art. They're making devil statues. Could you imagine
a boss out of Resident Evil? Dude, what the fuck? That's so weird.
It's not weird, David. They want us to worship the devil. And I don't know, that thing's got to be made out of like bronze or something, right? Like, is that what it is? Bronze
Probably.
statue. Yeah. So this thing like the metal itself can hold the energy, like, and it's just it's on top of a building that's probably got made out of marble. And yeah, man, there you go.
That's wild. Is it? Decent pair of tits, though, for sure.
This is like the opposite of like the beautiful art that built this country and like Renaissance style art and the Roman Greco architecture that is timeless. That when you go to the Parthenon, even though it's in rubble, it's still beautiful. The Colosseum is still beautiful. Notre Dame, still beautiful. Burn the fuck down, still beautiful. The pyramids, still beautiful. The old monoliths carved out of one piece of solid rock, still beautiful, from 5,000 years ago. And they're putting that on court, and they're saying that's justice. They've twisted justice. Yeah, I'm glad that, like, I was pretty sure. I was very convinced that was legit and everything. So I got a little scared there, David, when you're like, are you sure?
Listen, it's pretty bad, right? I can see where everyone's worried, but is it as bad as this?
Yeah, it's worse. I mean, that is a terrible, ugly piece of crap. Yes, and I cannot believe that that's what we do for the guy. Well, hold on. I do believe that the guy that the government murdered would just give him a big crappy statue. I 100% believe that they would do that. But as a critically thinking adult, that the civil rights leader of Martin Luther King Jr. should be given, like, I don't know, like a chair sitting style, like fucking Lincoln or something.
So,
or like,
yes.
Like once
something
again,
honorable,
something fucking. Why? I know why. Like, this is something Trump said, and he was shooting down like the FBI buildings and courthouses. They wanted to like do this crazy architecture, and it was all ugly. And Trump's like, no, they're ugly buildings. Something like that, loosely. I'm conflating things. But they have destroyed our heritage through our architecture. It's our architecture. Like, it's drawn. It's supposed to make you feel a certain way. Buildings are supposed to channel energy in the fucking room, and they do. Feng shui, all that stuff. Like, you think it's all jokes. That's crazy. But, I mean, what do you expect when we're 90 seconds for total annihilation?
90 seconds from midnight.
All right. This is from dailymail.co.uk. Army spied on lockdown critics. Skeptics suspected they were being watched. A shadowy army unit secretly spied on British citizens who criticized government's COVID lockdown policies. Artificial intelligence deployed to scrape social media for keywords.
Oh, they're just finding out about this. That's cute.
Just 3 years later.
Yeah. They didn't know that was already happening. Oh, interesting.
Bank of America, this is from Valuetainment on Twitter. Bank of America warns the U.S. will soon start losing 175,000 jobs per month in Q1 of 2023. I hope everybody gets on Skillshare or one of these other sites, or is a tradesman, or you better not be working retail and at a gas station and at a grocery store. No knock to any of those people unless you have a husband, a roommate, something. We gotta stop being replaced by the system.
Here's the sub story that they didn't talk about, but the thing that people should be terrified of. Obviously, mass job loss is a problem, but people during COVID got used to being massively overpaid for what they do. And it was a bubble, just like the housing bubble. People's wages are going to tank because they think, well, I'm worth this much. And they're going to find out in a very unfortunate way that they are not worth nearly as much as they thought they were worth when the job market is flooded with people applying for jobs again.
Yeah, I actually had a video when COVID first was going on. I was in between jobs. I was starting a job, and then the virus hit, and I couldn't start yet. And it was called like Evolve or something. And I talked on there how we might have to learn new skills, right? And like this is going to be an opportunity, right? Like you're going to get a chance to make whatever, but you better learn them skills fast so that you can maximize your opportunity, and then also be like, if you're worth 60, you're going to be worth 60 because you learned the skills to make 60 everywhere. Like, and if you didn't do that, you played yourself.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people use the job shortages to their advantage when it came to wage. And if you haven't created an actual worth for yourself, you're going to be hurting.
Yeah, or like my wage went up, but that was because my skill set changed, right? And I used the pandemic as like there's a vacuum in electricity. And I wasn't having luck before COVID, but during COVID, everybody needed and it allowed me get the skills so that you're not going to pay me less money because I have the skills to make that money. I'm actually more valuable now than I was when you hired me.
With actual value.
With actual value. And I can produce stuff with my hands.
Not just I'm available, but actually I know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And you will pay me because I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah. And it's like, this is go full circle here about what we talk about history, religion, politics, and culture. Like, this is like one of the things of history has taught us, right? If you pay attention that there's these voids, if there's these recessions, if there's recessions is opportunity. Pandemic was opportunity if you looked at it that way. Did it fuck everything up? Of course. Silver lining, the yin and yang. Stuff like that. I mean, it's really a shame for the people that didn't, and now that we're on the other side and stuff like that it's just wasted time now. Or they were crippled with depression, or like right now, I don't want to make this a COVID show, but it's just it was just something interesting. Like, I always think I'm not worried about losing my job, but I think about it that's why I like politics, right? That's why we follow politics, is so that we can't plan for this. we can't plan for the unplannable stuff in politics, but if I can at least get my ear to the ground, I can feel more comfortable with my daily life, knowing that bread isn't going to be $11 tomorrow, which it very well could be. Pierce Morgan tweeted, I'm seeing people claim that 5 black men killing a black man was, quote, racism. This is further evidence that the world's gone nuts. Pierce Morgan, for one of the few times, I actually agree with you. Classic liberal right there.
Here's the problem, Pierce Morgan. He contributed to the world being nuts for years. I mean, it's great to come around and realize what is going on in the real world, but
yeah, Bill Maher as well. They created the very culture that allowed this to fester, and now you have a problem with the tranny thing.
It's like, oh, I can't believe, how did we even get here? Well, you were there. You are how we got there.
You were the people familiar with the matter allowing it to happen.
Yes, it is absolutely insane that anybody could even remotely relay that to racism. Why can't it just be police brutality, and why can't we say, wow, police brutality is terrible? I talked about this when anytime we talked about Colin Kaepernick, the whole thing. It's like if he just publicly said police brutality is a major problem affecting everybody, all Americans, making a unity case, not a divisive case, you would have had a much better job pulling people in on your side.
Well, that too. And see, here's the thing. You're right, Dave, because that's what, like, I guess we try to do, right? We look at it like, look, I'm a person in the world too, but this is my experience, right? You go downward instead of the other way, which seems like they project that, right? Like all cops are racist, projected outward on the whole society. Instead, he could have shifted it down to like, everybody's getting killed by police officers. This is what it's like in my community. These are our stories. This is this person. This is, famous, something I'm thinking about. Hands up, don't shoot. Remember that? Philadelphia Eagles came out and did that. Literally had nothing to do with anything. They're now going to the Super Bowl. All I'm saying. Speaking of Super Bowl, Fox News reported, it was today, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden and Roger Goodell are in attendance at the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, they flashed a camera on them during the game.
The NFL is co-opted by the government. Or vice versa, whatever you want to say. Well, nothing. No.
David, as Whoopi had once said, Dr. Jill Biden is one of the great doctors in the world. So maybe she was just there in case anybody had a concussion.
I got a little pro-masculine quote here from Porn Star. A man cannot remake himself without suffering because he is both the marble and the sculptor. See, that's the shit I use the internet for, people.
Did you
think, Dave? Dave, think everybody has college plus. Like, this is like a university. Every university's in your pocket, and we're looking at ass.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I follow. That's like I choose to follow these people.
I want to see if I can find this post because it made me laugh, and I think it'll not to get you going at the end of the.
I got one more thing here, and then I got a couple Decembertainments.
Hold on, I want to see if I can. I will find this. Hold on. I just want you to hear this because it made me laugh, but it also made me think, ooh, Ryan. Here it is. Nope, I just want to see it. Can I view it? Here we go. I want a husband. I'm tired of telling 20 guys how my day went. And I commented, why do you think 21 guys want to hear about your day? Going about getting the husband the entire wrong way, for the record.
This also reminds me of this New York Post article. Single women are shopping for husband material at Home Depot.
Biology.
So basically what's happening is women are going to Home Depot alone and like standing in the aisle by tools or something, or like a roll of something, or like this, and then waiting for men to be like, do you know what you're looking for? Now,
Ryan, you know who else does this? Men,
when
they go to grocery stores.
Yeah, well, yeah. But here's the thing. This is what they used to call dropping the handkerchief in our grandparents' age. This has always been a thing. I mean, players use it to their advantage now. But it was always a thing called pre-selection, that the girl picks the guy she likes and she'll drop a pen, her flower, her hair clip, leave her phone. And it's like a way to test to see if the guy is capable, right? If he's confident, if he's competent, if he's a man. He's
going to pick it up.
Yes, he'll pick it up like, miss, you dropped this. She set it up because women like to be chased, goddammit. Don't care what they tell you. They like to be chased. They know they're our prey, and they love it. That's why they love our attention. Because we literally feast on, like, do you guys... Anyways, so this used to be done all the time, and this was lost. I wish there was 20-year-old girls dropping handkerchiefs. Now they go about a little different. It's DMs, it's following your story. Like, they do the same shit. The problem is, when I go to Home Depot, I don't want no 50-year-old car. Okay, I don't want a 40-year-old ex-wife.
It's got 200,000 miles on it.
I don't want a 20-something-year-old girl that spent many, many nights in different dorm rooms all over college campuses. So you can go do your thing, that's fine, but don't be coming down to my local Home Depot when I'm trying to buy fucking wire for a side job and thinking you're going to get a husband out of it. Okay? All right. I guess that's all I got about my toxic. But I will say, I have noticed, there's some nice women at Home Depot. I dig it. I'm a big fuck Lowe's guy. So
dropping the handkerchief was much better than walking around half naked.
Well, and that's what's crazy is women misinterpret the attention they get for men, like that quick attention, as the same attention that you want from your husband. Like, the guy that marries you is probably not going to be the guy that, like, you want to sleep with right away because he has values, or he's not going to try to sleep with you right away because he has values, right? Isn't marriage like about having values, moral standards? Like, you're not going to get that with a guy that's trying to hook up with you every weekend. Now, granted, I've done both of these. Like, I'm speaking actually out of fucking experience. I've played women, I've done the thing, I've cheated, I've done the bad stuff. A lot of it was insecurity in myself when I was young, especially. This is going fucking therapy all of a sudden. Yeah, I guess I'll tie it into a story, and then I got one other thing for some entertainment. So this dovetails well. I went to a bar last night. I told you guys that. I also met up with another buddy of mine. He ended up flaking on me for whatever reason, which is fine. But when he got there, we went over and played a game of darts. And, there was people next to us that I talked with. And then these two older women came back and sat down. They're like, oh, we were playing, kind of like doing their older flirty stuff. I was like, oh, you guys want to play or whatever after this game? They're like, yeah. So after the game, my buddy and I just went to the bar to get more beer. I told him, we'll be back a couple minutes. And we ended up blowing her off, right? He said he didn't want to play darts and all this. So I got put in a position because we said we would play. He doesn't want to play. I'm a man. I'm going to still play because I gave my word to, so I'm battling this conflict. So I blow her off. I have that conversation with the guy I told you guys about earlier. And we're just doing our thing, have a couple more beers. And later in the night, it's getting later. The one girl wasn't too bad looking. I was like, well, let's see if I can salvage this. You know what I'm saying? So I fucking walk over there. And, dude, she's very friendly. She has nice blue eyes. I remembered her name. She liked that. She was holding my hand a little long. I like you. I was like, oh, I like you too, Amanda. And I was like, I know I blew you off earlier. I want to make it up, play a darts game now when you guys are done with your game. She's like, yeah, sure. Dude, like 2 rotations. She comes back, talks to me, gets up, goes back, talks to me. She turns into a complete bitch. You can leave now. I was like, okay. She's like right now. I was like, yeah, that's fine. And I told her, I was like, why would you have me sit over here if you're going to tell me to leave? She's like, whatever the fuck she said. I was like, I get that you're mad about the whole me blowing you off, but you're fine a minute ago. Now you're not. It's like, whatever. Have a good night. And her friend was like, I'm sorry. She's super drunk. I don't know why she got that. The moral of the story is This girl started getting attention from somebody else, and she didn't like that I blew her off because there was hotter girls there. I know that's what it was. There's like a cute 20-something-year-old girl I was talking to. Like, you're 40. You're at least 40. I like girls that are 40, but I like girls that are not 40 way more. So I don't know. That's my misogyny. Maybe I shouldn't maybe I'm not ready for dating, David. Maybe that should be an undercover podcast. Ryan tries to pick up girls, and I just get fucking smoked.
I'm in for this.
All right. A couple, well, I guess I only got 2 December entertainments this week. I started listening. Oh, hold on. I got one more thing before December entertainment. Sorry, I'm a little unorganized here. New York Post article. So apparently there was some tennis player that had a stance against the vaccine, Novak Djokovic, Djokovic. He wins the Australian Open after a year after the deportation saga. So I'm assuming this guy got deported.
Talked about him before.
Got deported from, right? So he won the championship, and Bill Gates was there in attendance, and the guy fucking won. He won the championship by the guy that probably sets the policies.
I'm sure Bill Gates forgot it happened already.
I'm sure that guy's going to get double assassinated. He's going to get he shot himself and fell into a wood chipper. He just really wanted to make sure.
Cause of death, suicide.
Yeah, cause of death is suicide. All right, December David this week. I stuck to Patrick Bet David this week so fucking hard, man. He has great economy videos out. He's got one with Brett Weinstein. He's got some stuff on real estate. Just go to PBD, people. I'm telling you, man, we're not all going to be billionaires, but goddamn it, those guys know what the hell they're talking about. It can help you feel a little more secure in these unsecure times. That's something else I found when you go to these people. I know they have more money than me, so it's easier for them. But if billionaires aren't saying the sky is falling, as long as I stay to some basic things and don't live on less than I make, and, we'll be fine, no matter how shitty it gets. And then, once again, historically, these times create opportunity for those that are prepared, which is something Patrick Bet David has been saying for at least 18 months. I came on this podcast probably about a year ago already and told you guys to stay locked to him. But I caught a couple videos this week. Fantastic as always. And the other thing I caught a little snippet of this week, about an hour or so, was Jordan Peterson was on Joe Rogan again, and they were specifically talking about the clinical practice, the clinical college stuff, how they're trying to revoke his psychology degree. Very interesting conversation. And it reminded me that Joe Rogan's like John Adams, right? He's the poet. He's not the soldier. And it reminded me that Dave and I are the poets, and you guys are the soldiers. Dave Ryan, December 17th, 73. Appreciate you guys making through all the episodes, especially to the end this week. We spawn Mondays through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
We do what?
We spawn. Respawn. We'll be here till we're deleted in person on the internet. Doesn't matter. I love you guys for your support. David, as always, thank you for your time. I'll catch you guys there.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, man. Oh, quickly. Super Bowl, we'll miss it, right? Next week's Super Bowl, right?
No. Next week's a bye.
Oh,
next week's Pro Bowl.
All right, Super Bowl picks next week. Maybe we should bet. Yeah. Maybe we should like throw $5 on the teams or something. My cousin had a great scheme.
Did this whole thing about how you don't sports gamble, you're not a gambler.
Okay, you ready? I got story time. Story time here. I know we closed up. My cousin, you ready? He's a math teacher. Fucking genius. Okay? So you know how FanDuel and all these sites give out free money?
Yeah.
If you bet whatever. So he bet the minimum, got like $200, and then he took all of that money and bet on all 8 remaining teams in the football league to win the Super Bowl.
Don't they usually...
He did that on the other one, too.
Do you get your money right away, though? Because I thought normally you put $5 in.
He did this earlier in the week.
But it's... Okay.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
There's
stipulations where it's like you bet minimum and you can do this, but there's like tons of stipulations to how you get it.
Yeah, I don't know when he did it or the things, but he's like, I'm going to do it on FanDuel as well. So like he bet like $50 and is going to win like 200, which doesn't seem like a lot of money, but it's a $125 profit. Till the IRS comes, takes 10%. I'm gone, guys. Go Bills.
Thanks for playing.